Hi guys, it's Theresa of Larkin Design. I'm here today with my Dear Lizzy Saturday collection, and I'm working on a layout from my 2016 Project Life album, and this is week 26. Excuse me. This is week 26, and which is like half the year, right? So it feels like it's going really fast. And anyway, so y'all know I'm a big Dear Lizzy fan. I use her products just about every week. There's something that I'm pulling from my Dear Lizzy stash. And so the Saturday collection does not disappoint at all. And so hopefully you'll see me use it in some really fun ways today. Now, the layout that I'm working on was created in the Project Life app, and I used the date card from the Project 52 kit, and then the other cards are from the Good Vibes kits, all located in the Project Life app. And so then when I was thinking about what products I wanted to use with this layout, of course, the Good Vibes collection has really good colors, right? Colors that I use a lot: pinks, reds, turquoises, some yellows in there. And then also the date card is strictly black and white. And so I knew I wanted to somehow tie all that together. I needed some black and white somewhere else on the layout. And of course I wanted to use those fun colors. And Dear Lizzy Saturday fit that perfectly. The Saturday collection does have just a whole ton of black and white accents here and there, which are awesome. And it sort of fits in with one of my earliest design philosophies. Back when I was a kid, my mother was one of the great inspirational forces in my life as far as creativity. And she used to always say every room, she was talking specifically about interior design, but her philosophy was every room, every project, everything that you create needs a little black. And so for me, putting the date card on this layout that is black and white fills that need. And so obviously with the Saturday collection, it's not hard to repeat that black and white around the page. So you'll see how I do that. I guess the first way I did that was right up above it, where I added this little strip. And so sometimes what I find in between creating the layout in the app and then by the time I get around to embellishing it, that's usually about 4 or 5 weeks. I'm a little bit further out than that, I think, at this point. And that's okay. I like having a little bit of time to just sort of decide what photos I'm going to use, decide what stories I want to tell about that week. I don't like to document or create. I don't like to create those Project Life layouts as the week happens because I'm too close to it. I want to take a little time to just process what happened and sort of be able to frame the week in my own mind of what was good about it, and then create the layout, and then then embellish on top. So it's definitely a process in there that carries me a few weeks out. So by the time I am ready to embellish, sometimes I do decide that, well, maybe I don't really like that card that I put there. And that's definitely a little of what happened with that top filler card. There's another one that you'll see in a little while that I'll end up covering up too. And so that's like totally the cool thing about doing it this way. You're just because you chose a journaling card in the Project Life app doesn't mean that you're married to it. once you're embellishing, you can always layer your pattern papers and your cut apart sheets on top. And so one of the things that I made a point to do before I started this layout was I made a point to cut apart the cut apart sheets that were in the collection. And one of the reasons that I really like to do that is because then you can use those elements on those cut apart sheets to layer on your layouts as well. And so they become another whole set of embellishments almost, because you can use them as the cards that they are, or you can cut out some of the icons, or just whatever you feel like you want to do. And it's helpful to me because for some reason I don't have the ephemera pack from this collection yet. I don't know. That's like the second ephemera pack that I didn't manage to get during the last release. So anyway, it'll come later. But you don't have to have the ephemera pack. And again, use those cut apart sheets as your embellishments and your layering elements. I love that. So anyway, I'm just going to keep working on this layout here and adding these embellishments. I decided with that top card on the upper right hand corner here, I am going to put a little bit of journaling, but I wanted some of it left white and some of it embellishments and some of it journaling. So I started with the strip across the bottom and then carried the embellishments up the side. And then I'm just going to write a few sentences. So what was sort of going on this week was that two of our kids were in Florida, and then the other two children are here. They're here 50% of the time. They spend the other 50% of their time with their dad. And so there were a few days this week that it was just me and Alan at home by ourselves, you guys. They let us be here by ourselves. And so this layout really is actually about this sort of couple of days that we had to ourselves. And that's kind of fun to document. Of course, the majority of my Project Life album this year, it does focus around me and Alan and around our relationship and sort of what we do together on a weekly basis. I sort of, since the kids don't really like to be photographed so much anymore, and they're not, they're older now, and so the layouts do focus a little more on me and on us and what we're doing. So this is definitely a fun layout to do, right? And let me encourage you. I know the temptation. It feels like we have to do this scrapbooking thing for our kids. And so let me encourage you, like, you are worth documenting your life too, and put yourself in your albums, because I promise you that we've documented the ins and outs of our kids' lives to the point that it can be invasive. And they really, at the end of the day, they want to know as much about you and about me and about us as they do know about themselves in our scrapbooks, right? Because, who we are, who I am, is a part of who our kids are too. So anyway, that's my takeaway for today. Put yourself in your Project Life albums. Document your life and what's going on for you on a weekly basis, because you're worth it too. So anyway, just moving along here. So I don't remember what I'm doing. I'm cutting this sheet apart. Okay, I'm going to cover this other filler card down here. And I think what happened was that I decided that the font the elements in this Good Vibes kit that had text and font didn't really fit in like I wanted them to. I think that's sort of what ended up happening, that I ended up covering up some things and layering over top. And again, you know, I'm totally okay with that. I think that's fun to round out these layouts in this way. So I use this little, they're almost like large confetti on that pattern paper. And then I want to do a title, and I'm sort of trying to encourage myself to do this more, to actually use these alphabets that I keep buying. I keep buying them, and then I only use them for the word week and the numbers. And like, so I'm challenging myself to move beyond that. And I'm not a big fan of like big flashy titles, but it is fun, you know, to spell out some words here and there, and also these alphabets are really fun. Like, I don't know why, they're just really cute. And I was watching a process video yesterday, and forgive me, I don't remember who it was. It seems like it was a YouTuber. I think her name was Laura G or Laura R. And her nails were totally painted like those alphabets, and it was so cute. Oh my gosh. She's on the Stash Busters blog hop that happened on Saturday. So if you go and watch those videos, you'll see her fingernails look just like those letters, and it was so awesome. In fact, I need to go back and tell her that. So I think it's Laura R. But anyway, so I just made that little title, just us, you know, because that really is like kind of what this page is about. And like, I'm going to be honest here and say that I freely admit that there are only 4 photos from this week. I didn't take a lot of pictures. It was really just an average, very quiet week, that nothing really eventful went on. And, you know, we were sort of resting. I think the next week we go to Charleston. And so we were sort of resting and just kind of taking it easy. And that also means, when I say rest, I also mean camera rest. And, because I knew I would be taking a lot of pictures the following week. And so, you know, you just kind of chill out a little bit. Just take 4 pictures. And that's like totally okay. Which means that this ends up being a very product heavy layout. And I'm totally okay with that too. Because Lord knows I have enough product that I can fill up these filler cards with embellishments, right? So, anyway, on the right-hand side of this layout is a picture of the 2 kids, Nick and Natalie, who were here this particular week. And, so I kind of caught them playing video games together. These 2 sort of tend to stay away from each other. They know they annoy each other, like typical brothers and sisters, right? And so they kind of tend to stay on opposite ends of the house or whatever. But just for a little while, I caught them playing video games together, and it was really cute. And you know, I love sort of capturing these kind of overall views of the living room, just of sort of what's going on there. And they really were having a good time that day. So anyway, that's sort of the story of that photograph. And then the other photo that I sort of have obscured right now is a visitor we had in our backyard. A little box turtle came meandering through our backyard, and so I just, you know, photographed him quietly, and then, he went about his merry way. But he was a lot of fun to just look at and say hi to. I think that these turtles, they bring good luck. And this is the second time that we've had a turtle come through our yard. The last time was back before we moved here, when we lived at the old house, and that one I photographed too, and have in our Project Life album from, I think it was in 2012 or 2013. I don't remember. But anyway, it's nice to, I love Project Life for that reason, because this is a great place to put these seemingly random photos, but in this context, in the context of Project Life, these random photos come together and tell a story of the random things that happened during the week, in just seemingly random sort of life kind of ways. So I love that about these albums, and just having a place to put these photos really makes me happy. So I think if I were to say, what is the biggest reason why you do Project Life, it's probably specifically that reason, because we take these random photos, and I wouldn't necessarily sit down, if I were a traditional scrapbooker, I wouldn't necessarily sit down and scrapbook that photo of that box turtle. But in this context, he fits in really well, and he helps round out the story and the layout. So here you can see that I decided there was this piece of the cut apart sheet with this pattern on it that I actually really love, and I don't know if there's a full size pattern paper using that pattern. I'm not familiar enough with the Saturday collection yet, but regardless, there was just this little piece on one of the cut aparts, and so I layered it underneath that million tiny little things quote. And then here I'm going to work with this circle card, and you just saw me put something down and pull it back up. I decided that I wanted to repeat the circle theme on this card. So I'm trimming this sticker a little bit and putting that down. And then I'll use one of the rubber embellishments was round, and then one of the flowers. And so that's just a fun way to embellish that card. I am sort of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that top card with the hearts on it. So, because I don't want to completely obscure those hearts. And so it takes me a few minutes here to figure out just what I want to do. I really like this camera, and I thought for a while I was going to use this. I thought for a while I was going to use that. And you'll see me play around with it a little bit. I really like the green, but I didn't like so much how big it was. So I decided I am going to trim off the word strip. I'm going to use the word strip. And then there's another camera icon somewhere in this collection. There we go. The sticker. So I'm going to use the sticker instead. And that also repeats the black and white. So that was a good design decision there. And then I'm just going to layer a couple more embellishments and a couple of stamps on around the camera. And so you'll see that I only use part of this stamped image here. And then this layout is just about done. So I'm going to wrap things up for today. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you will like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And then I'll see you back here tomorrow with a Disney layout. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.